Hello and welcome back to the NBA DFS Slate Breakdown for January 16th, Thursday. We are back. We got a 5-game slate today to go over, the smallest slate we've had for a while, but it is an exciting one, and I'm here to break it down. I'm your host, Tyler Wiemann, at FlatTyler83 on your DFS sites and Twitter. Now let's dive in and check it out. But before we do, come join us at LionStar. $39.99 per month gets you access to all we do, all the props, all the DFS. You get it all for one low price. And if you've never tried us out before, go to the App Store, Android or iOS. Download the LionStar app. And if you haven't tried us, you can get a 7-day free trial that will give you access to everything you see here on the website, as well as the apps. The apps are by far the best in the business. Now, let's dive in and get it rolling. Starting position by position with point guard, 44% owned. We got Scoot Henderson. He's in the night game. And with Denny doubtful, I would expect that Portland Trailblazers have Henderson starting again. He started yesterday, or 2 days ago, was extremely hot, went for 55 fantasy points, 39 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. And, you know, at his price, if he's starting, it makes a lot of sense to want to go there. I'm going to have some. I'll have a decent amount. He is one of my higher owned players, but I think there's plenty other ways to get different. I don't think you have to go there. Next, we got James Harden, 29% owned, 8,800. His price has fallen a little bit with Kawhi Leonard soaking up some of that usage. However, and price fallen, I say, from, like about a month ago when he was in mid-9s. However, there's going to be no Leonard in this spot versus the Portland Trailblazers. I really like it and don't mind getting some James Harden. He's probably going to be one of my higher owned players. Personally, I would rather go Harden than Scoot, and I think you can get different somewhere else with Portland rather than going Scoot. Delano Banton, 21% owned. This is just popping up because we know he's going to probably get 18, 19 minutes, and he is a high fantasy per minute guy. I don't expect that to stay this type of ownership. Next, Chris Dunn, 4,200, 20% owned. Chris Dunn has had a rough few days. If you watched our prop show, I dunked all over him yesterday when Kawhi Leonard is on the court. Kawhi Leonard is out today. He is expected to rest. So I shouldn't say that he's out for sure. He is expected to rest. We haven't officially got today's injury report for the Clippers yet because they played yesterday. But most likely there's going to be no Leonard. Terrence Mann left the game and didn't return yesterday. There's going to be minutes up. I would expect Dunn to slide back into the starting lineup. I would expect to have him play 24 to 26 minutes like he has. And with that, I think 4,200 is too cheap for a guy that, routinely was in the mid-high 20s and was like 4,800, 5K, like in this spot, just a few weeks ago. So definitely going to probably get some Chris Dunn. Another scary one here, Tyus Jones. Jones' playing time has been less than ideal lately. He's still starting, but 26 minutes, 18, 26, 29, 22, 20. The big thing here is that Bradley Beal is out. Could mean a few extra minutes for him. We do need to watch the status of Ty Jerome, though. If Ty Jerome is in, then maybe his minutes don't go up a little bit, but I think there is a path to his minutes going up more to that 28, 29, 30, what it was earlier in the season, and then it's an absolutely great spot versus the Wizards. So I'm kind of interested in this as a low pivot. I think there is some upside there. Not too high owned, don't mind going there. Next, we got Darius Garland versus the Thunder. So he only went for 28 versus the Thunder last game, played 32 minutes. I think this is a game that he could play a few extra minutes in. If he's getting 34 instead of 32, he starts to look very good, but it is a very tough spot versus the Thunder. I think, most likely you're going to want some pieces of this game, and it's just going to be hard to figure out what pieces you want. So that is the only issue there, but Darius Garland is definitely one that I'm a bit interested in. Point guard on DraftKings: Devin Booker, Delano Banton, and SGA. Booker has no Bradley Beal. We talked about this a lot. He is 1.22 fantasy per minute on the season, but without Beal, he's at like a 1.31. And then you add in that it's an amazing spot versus the Wizards, and it starts to look really interesting. The Wizards have allowed a ton of 50 burgers, and if anybody can put up a 50 burger, it's definitely Booker. I love the spot for D-Book. Banton, we covered. SGA, 10.5K. It's a very tough spot for him, but at least he's going to play big-time minutes. He played 38 last time versus them. Only put up 51, but I would say, you know, that's kind of a floor score, and there is definitely the opportunity for him to go, you know, 60-plus if he's going to play that type of big minutes. Now, shooting guard on FanDuel. We got D-Book. We got Toumani Camara. Camara is a guy we have been all over lately, and I don't mind going back here in this spot. 0.77 fantasy per minute, but he's likely to, he might end up playing some power forward in this spot. And he's like 0.9 fantasy per minute without Denny and Jeremy Grant on the court, so he should get some more usage here. Definitely am a little interested in him. Went nuts last game. Why wouldn't they keep feeding him and giving some more minutes? Norm Powell, 7,200. Love this spot for Powell versus the Trailblazers. No Leonard. No Terrence Mann. He's probably going to play big-time minutes in a good spot versus a team that's just not very good, frankly. Shaedon Sharpe. With their injury to the forwards, I would expect Shaedon to play some big minutes here and play a little bit more of the small forward spot, which is a little better of a matchup versus the Clippers than the shooting guard. So while he didn't do great last game with Scoot out there, Scoot just was on fire and took all the usage. I think there is some solid upside for Shaedon Sharpe, and I'm going to be going there a little bit. Grayson Allen, 4,600. We talked about this Wizards matchup and how much they let people score. It's a big-time pace-up spot, and why wouldn't you want to go to a scorer coming off the bench, and one that has recently started playing more minutes? 27, 30, it's 27, 25, 31. If he's playing well, they're fine to give him 30 minutes with the injuries going on in Phoenix. I think there's definitely that path to today, or for today, and he's definitely capable of going 30 plus. So a little interested in him. Chris Dunn, we covered. Jalen Green went nuts again yesterday. We were all over it. I'm fine to go back in this spot. Kings haven't been great versus shooting guard, and he gets the biggest bump up with Jabari Smith. I'm a broken record, but hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Amin Thompson finally had a less than ideal game and still put up 38. I like this spot versus the Kings, though. It's a decent scoring game. It's going to be a close game. They're 27th overall versus small forward. Let's go with Amin Thompson. And Lou Dort, 4,700. It's frankly just that there's no Hartenstein, no Holmgren. I think he's going to have to play a couple extra minutes, and with that, there's some upside. He's only 4,700. He can definitely score 30s, and his fantasy point per minute without Holmgren and Hartenstein does jump up to like 0.77 versus 0.7. So little interest in Dort. His median raises a little bit. Won't go super hard on him, but will have a little bit and definitely be willing to go there. Now, let's go over to shooting guard on DraftKings. Booker, Banton, Allen, Dunn, covered them all. Dunn at 3,400 on DraftKings is criminal if he's starting. If he's not starting, maybe watch out there a little bit. But with no man, no Leonard, his minutes, he's probably going to have some minutes regardless. KD, D-Book, covered them both, liked them both, or I guess we haven't covered D-Book or Kevin Durant yet, but hey, it's the Wizards. No Beal, no Nurkic. He gets a big bump up. He's 9,700. He's had a ton of high 50s. He can definitely get there again in this spot. Kamara, we talked about. Powell, Sharp, Allen, Kyle Kuzma, 6,100. He played 35 minutes the other night. I would expect he's up back to 32, maybe 32 plus minutes, and I wouldn't mind going to some Kuzma if that's the case. His floor or his ceiling is just way too high for a 6,100 price tag. Men Thompson, Dort, we talked about them all. Small forward on DraftKings. Allen, Powell, Asor, Thompson, 4,500. All right, so minute-wise, we can only expect 22, 24 minutes, something like that. He likely will start. Very high fantasy per minute guy. At 4,500, I don't mind getting some. Just too big of a ceiling to just not think about putting in your lineup here. And surprised he's not going a little bit higher owned, personally. Power forward on FanDuel, KD, Tobias Harris, Kyle Kuzma. Tobias Harris, 6,300. He's in an okay spot. My worry here is just the ceiling potential. It is rare that he goes for 40s, mid-30s, low 30s, definitely possible, but the likelihood of that winning you a GPP is slim. I like him better for cash than I do a GPP. Kuzma, Evan Mobley, 8,500. Look, I like Evan Mobley and I like Jared Allen. I like both of them. There's no Hartenstein, no Holmgren. They're likely having Jalen Williams starting at the center spot, and that interior is just not going to be as good as it normally is with that. So I think the Cavs can probably pick on the interior of the Thunder a little bit, and Evan Mobley is a stud. 1.34 fantasy point per minute so far this season. Definitely am interested in him, as I am Jared Allen. Willing to get either of them. Getting over to the power forward spot on DK. We got Mobley, KD, Thompson, and we're just going to push it over to the center. Jalen Williams, 4K, 36% owned. He's probably going to get 24 to 26 minutes. He's a fantasy per minute guy, 1 point per minute or slightly over. And if he's going to get, decent minutes, you got to consider him. I'm probably going to have a decent amount. DeAndre Ayton, 6K, 21% owned. He's been okay versus the Clippers in the past, but I can't really get there. Even with the team hurt, at the center spot, he's still not getting big minutes. Just really don't know what to think about Ayton as a whole, as a player, and I don't really want to play him when he's chalky. Evan Mobley, we covered. We like him. Jared Allen, we like. Alperen Sengun, 9K versus the Kings. Look, he has got to defend Sabonis, and like we talked with Jokic, the best way to do that is go at him offensively and hopefully get in some foul trouble. I think that's what the Rockets might do here, and I think Sengun can definitely, do some damage on Sabonis. It's not the best spot in the world, but we're in a slate where there's not a huge amount of real high ceiling plays, and Sengun is one, so I'm willing to take some chances there a little bit. Center on DK. Jalen Williams, 3,300 is criminal. He will probably come in insanely high owned, as he should be. KD, Zubac at 7,100 is very interesting. He's like just under a 1.2 fantasy per minute guy without Leonard, and he's got no Leonard in this spot versus Portland Trailblazers that aren't very good. The only worry here is he's faced them twice this year and hasn't really done much, but he did crush them last year. The team really isn't that much different, so I could definitely see a positive regression for Zubac fantasy scoring here. And that will do it for us today, guys. Short one, 5 games. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great weekend or a great day. Let's make some money. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.